Hi, Olivia. How are you?
Hi, Emma. It's so good to see you, and it's really good to be back.
Yes, you too. I love our little solo videos, but sometimes we just do it better together.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I need like your energy sometimes. Like, it's really some, I get so insular sometimes on like what I want to talk about, but then I'm just talking to myself. I'm like, well, that's not fun.
That's so real. The last video I did about country music, I meant for it to just be like something fun, and I ended up writing like a thesis report
Yeah,
on like the evolution of country music. And at the end, I was like, damn, I did not mean for it to like go on like this.
that was literally my Ariana Grande video from this past week, where I just wanted to do like a little short review. And then I just got really into it. And I'm like, all right, this is just going to be like a lyrical breakdown, I guess, that no one asked for. But here we are. Like, let's just do it. Let's just add more.
This week, we wanted to touch on, so this happened, I want to say maybe like a week and a half ago. But Rainbow Kitten Surprise put out a
Hmm.
statement that A, they're coming back from their hiatus, B, they have a new album coming, C, in their newsletter, they said it was their most massive tour yet, which we will touch on that. And then D, that they kicked out a member. And this was all in the same very messily put together PR statement, which I will read for the audience now. As somebody who loves drama, I love this statement. As somebody who works in PR, yeah,
Not so much.
yeah, silence speaks for itself. So on Instagram, they posted a statement that says, since our hiatus last summer due to Hila's mental health, Hila is the lead singer of the band, each of us took the time to address ongoing issues in the band. After spending some time contemplating the future of Rainbow Kitten Surprise, we are excited to announce our return. On a heavier note, we also must announce the departure of our dear friend Charlie Holt, the bassist. After a concerted effort to move forward together, Hila could not find a way to continue working with them, and the band seriously contemplated calling it quits. Charlie is one of a kind and will always be a part of our legacy. They can't be replaced in anyone's hearts or minds. We are extra proud of the new songs we'll be dropping soon because they represent our last collaboration as our original lineup. Your support in this community means the world to us. We can't wait to see you on the road. Bozzy, Hila, Ethan, and Jess. And then there was a separate slide from Charlie. Dear Rainbow Kitten Surprise family, thank you. I'm so thankful for every one of you and all the beautiful moments along the way. This family's imprint will last lifetimes. It feels impossible to put words into this, but I've been asked to leave the group. This is not the end of me making music, but I'm accepting that this beautiful season has passed. Signed, Charlie Holtz.
Oh my God.
So that was the statement. This came out of nowhere. Just a few days prior, they did a really fun like scavenger hunt where they dropped keys all over the United States in different cities, and like fans went to find the keys and it pieced together new songs. And we everybody was very excited for this. And then they dropped that.
Oh my God. What is the history with this? Like, I have such limited knowledge on Rainbow Kitten Surprise, and I'm just so curious. I feel like based on the comments that I saw on a lot of the posts and on their, music videos for their new songs, everyone is just sort of like, I'm sick of the drama with this band.
Yeah.
So, where did this come from? Like, what is happening? This is so bizarre and weird.
There's been a lot of mental health problems in the band, specifically with Hila, the lead singer. And I think in 2022, yeah, or maybe it was even 2021, she came out as trans, which, the community was very accepting of. Everybody accepted her new identity, her new pronouns, everything like that. But it seems she's had a very rough time transitioning mental health wise because they have canceled 3 tours, or 2 tours and an array of random shows and festivals. Their first tour that they canceled, COVID, get it. Everybody had to
Sure.
cancel.
Yeah.
Then there was a string of shows and festivals they played where they would drop out routinely, oh, the week before, 2 days before, day of. There was one show that everybody was in the venue and they canceled it. And every time they cancel, it's due to Ela's mental health.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I personally bought tickets to their last tour, and less than a month before my show, it was canceled. And thankfully, it was all the way up in Niagara Falls, so thankfully I hadn't booked a hotel or anything yet, but there were lots of people who were like, I booked a plane to Red Rocks. I
Right,
rented
but
a
that's an
car.
iconic venue. Like
Yeah,
people want
like
to see bands there. Yeah.
I booked a plane, I booked a hotel room, like none of this is refundable. And they let us know, 2 weeks before the shows.
Holy shit.
So after they canceled that, and I think they canceled that show or that tour in maybe like late May, early June of spring 2023, they went on a hiatus.
Mm.
And this is them coming back from
So
that
it's been like a
hiatus.
year basically
Yeah.
since.
So it's almost been a full year, but that PR statement makes it seem like Ela is 100% the problem. She's the problem with canceling shows. It sounded like she could not figure out how to work with Charlie, which the way it was worded. This is all speculation. Obviously, we don't know these people. We don't know what happened.
Sure, of
But
course.
when
Yeah.
you word a PR statement like that to be that messy, you are going to get speculation. And then after that statement was released, fans were freaking out, and Charlie's mom posted a statement on Facebook. And I'm not going to go super into it because she has since asked for everybody to delete it and not repost it. I guess she and Charlie signed NDAs.
Oh.
So hush hush. But this statement summarized by basically saying that Ela kind of made an ultimatum where she came and she said it's me or Charlie, and she's the lead singer. She writes their lyrics. She, spearheads all of their creative process. So when you say it's me or them,
Yeah.
they kind of had to choose Ela. And Charlie was everybody's favorite in the band. I mean, they were so electric on stage. They outshined everybody else on that stage when they were performing.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was a big shock. And then they released 2 new singles directly after that. That also left fans very disappointed.
Okay, wait. So I have so many questions from
Yeah.
this. So with Charlie and Ela, why do they have issues? Is there like a background there? No one knows?
No one knows. It's been speculated that maybe they had a bit of a romantic relationship
Oh, okay.
and that fell through. But nobody knows,
Mm.
unfortunately. And like it didn't have to be clear that they had issues.
Mm.
The statement could have said, "Unfortunately, we have decided to part ways with bassist Charlie Holt. They will always be, you know, a founding member of Rainbow Kitten Surprise and irreplaceable." But like when they put in that little tidbit of Ela could not find a way to continue working with them. So we don't know what happened, but clearly something.
That's a really weird way to put in a statement at all, like you were saying about the PR perspective. But it's really strange because you would think that they would not throw Ela under the bus, given that they still have to be a fucking band afterwards.
Yes.
Like, how is that going to work?
My hypothesis is that they wanted to make it clear that it was not the rest of them. It was Ela that was canceling the shows and having issues and kicking Charlie out of the band. That's my take on it, is that they wanted to be very much separate from her in this statement.
Now, if I were a fan, that would actually really concern me because if they're saying that they're coming out with these songs and they're going on tour or whatever they're trying to do now, it's like I would be concerned to buy tickets then because I'd be worried that them throwing Ela under the bus so publicly would still cause a rift in the band
Yeah, I don't know
unless
who
she's
wrote the
okay with
statement.
that.
I don't know who wrote the statement, whether they all wrote it together or whether they wrote it without Ela or whether their manager wrote it. I don't know who wrote it and why they wrote it like that. But yeah, as a personal fan, I will not be buying tickets just because I'm not confident that they're going to follow through.
Like a
I'm
day of
sure,
kind of thing.
Yeah, like I'm a strong believer, like you need to take care of yourself. Tour is so incredibly hard on the body, on the mind, on the spirit. She was very clearly struggling, and I would have so much rather lose $90 than lose the lead singer of one of my favorite bands.
Sure.
But when they're making it a pattern, it's your responsibility to decide what you can handle and what you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And them now saying that they're embarking on their largest North American tour ever in a recent newsletter. Why?
Yeah, like how are you suddenly able to go from being on a hiatus only a year ago, which really isn't that long ago, and canceling a tour that you previously had right beforehand, to now like, oh, we're coming out with music and we're going on our biggest North American tour ever and we're just like getting right back into it. It just
Yeah.
seems like that's not gonna be successful. Like, how would that be?
No, I can't imagine it being. And also, like, who is looking out for Ela right now? Like, I'm
Hmm.
worried for her
Hmm.
because she is very clearly going through some, or she was very clearly going through some very dark times. And, like, mental health is not linear. It takes a long time to heal from, these incredible, like, these incredibly devastating things. And then adding the fact that she's transitioning on top of that, which is something else that also, like, it takes years to fully, like, come to mental terms with that and, heal through whatever trauma you went through before you came out or maybe when you were coming out. And now just throwing her on their largest tour ever when she couldn't even handle half of their last tour. I will buy tickets the day before the show.
Sure, of
But
course.
I don't want to waste my money.
Of course, yeah. Are they signed?
I believe so. I'm not sure what record label we
Okay.
can insert here.
This is completely speculative, of course. But this is what record labels do, guys. This is what record labels do. They force you to perform, even when you don't have the mental health or capacity to do that, allegedly. And you get in these contracts that you have to fulfill because it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to continue to basically like optimize and like take on more. It doesn't make sense after you're coming off of a year hiatus and obviously the aspect of mental health is already not so great. So this has got to be record label.
Yeah, I can't see anybody in the band making this decision. I can't see Ela making this decision. My thoughts are that this is their label trying to cut losses after the last tour was canceled. They said, well, if we
Mm,
had to lose all that money, you're going to go on the biggest tour yet, and you're going to make up all that money that you
mm-hmm.
lost us.
Yeah,
Which
allegedly that's what it feels like.
I
Yeah.
think is a crazy decision, because if she can't handle it, she can't handle it. And she's going to end up canceling the tour, or God forbid, harming herself. Not to jump topics, but also their two new songs they released, LOL and Surprise. I'm not a fan of. So if that's what their next
Really?
yeah, if that's what their next album is going to sound like, which is supposed to be released in full on May 10th,
Mm.
I don't even want to go see that. It's very Imagine Dragons-y to
Oh,
me.
is it?
Yeah.
Why? Do you know why?
It's I don't know, it just feels very overproduced. I mean, the depth of the lyrics is still there. Ela has and always will be a great songwriter, but just like it seems extremely overproduced. It seems very different from their last songs
Mm.
and not in like a gradual progressive way because their albums have always, progressed. Their sound has always changed from RKS to 7 Plus Mary to How To. It's always progressed, but it's always been like a natural progression. This just seems like hit. And I wonder
Mm.
maybe if they were also forced to record to say, hey, you owe us an album. It's been however many years. We need an album now.
Mm-hmm.
So it just doesn't feel like anybody's heart was in it, especially if they were having problems during the making of this.
Yeah, and that's the really unfortunate part of this is that's the fuckery of like record labels, allegedly. Like people don't sign just like a year or 2 years. It's typically at least 3 to 5 years, and you have to produce a certain number of albums and a certain number of tours to actually recoup on all the costs that you put into actually putting out the record.
Oh, we have a guest. Would you like to say something? No comment.
So cute.
Okay, sorry. She so rudely interrupted you.
Oh, it's fine. It is. She can interrupt me any day. I don't care. I want her to speak her mind at some point if she wants to.
Speak your truth.
Give some cat ASMR. Oh, we got something small.
We got a
She's
little
shy.
sound. She is. But yeah, no, these record labels, like, they do not have your best interest at heart.
No, they don't. It's going to be really. I'm interested to see how this is going to actually go. I feel like there's probably going to be more drama associated with this.
Yeah. I truly wish that they had just taken 2 years hiatus to mend their relationship with Charlie and Ela and let Ela get the help that she needs to get and take the time she needs to heal and spend time making music that they love. Because all of this just seems very rushed and very forced, and yeah, as a fan, I'm very concerned.
Even looking at the comments of all of their posts, the general consensus seems to be most people are worried and concerned for them and are also really not feeling the stuff that they're coming out with and are just like, this is going to be kind of a disaster, it seems like just inevitable, cancellations and issues, which is really sad because this is just what record labels allegedly do. Like they this is the downside of signing to a record label. I feel like this is something you and I talked about all the time when we were managing independent bands. Like everyone wants to be signed to a label. That's their ultimate goal, is to be signed. But there are these issues that labels have and these contracts you have to be in that a lot of people don't know a lot about. They're not things that they consider. They see this like big name, let's get signed, it's going to help us. But sometimes they do more harm than good, and it's really sad.
A lot of the times, labels will actually dampen your career. It won't hurt it.
Yes.
I mean, let's look at the artists that were signed, like Carly Rae Jepsen, literally the pop princess of 2012. After she couldn't produce another viral hit, her record label stuffed her in the back of a closet. And they didn't give her promotion, they didn't give her anything, and she's like kind of making a comeback. But if she were independent and were releasing music on her own time, she could have carried that momentum to be like one of the Taylor Swifts or Katy Perry's or Ariana Grande's of today.
Yeah. I think even too about, emo bands and scene bands, right? Everyone was signed by Fueled by Ramen, for example. And I actually really like that label. And I think they still have like Fall Out Boy and like all these large bands on their roster. But like, they used to be the hub for scene and emo music. But, eventually that music goes away. It's not trendy anymore. It's not popular anymore. And so many of their rostered artists are no longer with them because they either stopped, being relevant and making music, or, Fueled by Ramen just didn't have the backup to be able to support all these bands anymore. It happens and it really sucks. I feel like being put in this place of working with a record label and having the opportunity to do that is something a lot of people aspire to. But I do think with the evolution of like TikTok and other social media, more people are realizing that they don't need labels anymore. And it's a reality for them to be able to continue to thrive and like share their art without having to go through a record label. So much so to now where like TikTok actually threatens record labels, right? Like record labels are trying to get people who have gotten popular on TikTok because like they can't compete anymore.
And in fact, I know a lot of record labels demand a viral hit from TikTok. I know
Sure.
Halsey posted a video maybe a year ago. It was some time ago at this point, but she was basically like, I would like to make more music. I cannot I need 20,000 of people to use this song, this snippet of this unproduced song, before they'll even let me record and produce and publish it. And I think she posted a snippet of a recording between her and her manager, just talking about this. And she was like, "So what? They're not going to let me put it out until it goes viral." And that was
That's
the
insane.
consensus. And I don't know if we've talked about her, but Chapel Roan,
Mm-hmm.
when she was just a kid, I want to say she was like maybe 17. She was signed to a record label. And I think she did well. I think she opened for Declan McKenna. I think at some point she opened for the Lumineers, but
Oh
she was
wow.
dropped from that record label.
Oh,
Had to move back. It was Atlantic Records, I believe. Had to move back to her home in Missouri, be a barista, and now she's flourishing. No label. She releases
wow.
songs when she wants to, how she wants to. She records with Dan Negro, who also records for Olivia
Hmm.
Rodrigo.
Of course, yeah.
And yeah, she drops things on her own schedule. Her music videos, are her own thing. And she's able to choose which venues she tours at. Like when I saw her on tour last year, I didn't have to deal with Ticketmaster because she chose non Live Nation venues, which is something you're allowed to do if you're independent. If you're a record label, they probably have a deal with Live Nation where they have to book at a Live Nation owned venue,
Hmm.
which we know, I mean, it's really hard to find a venue these days that's not Live Nation
Yeah.
that can hold fans at more than a 200-person capacity.
That's wild. I didn't realize that she wasn't signed.
Yeah, I don't believe she is. I believe she's still independent. I think that's like a huge mantra for her.
Good for her. That's awesome.
I love her.
She's so great.
I know.
I feel like she also kind of came out of nowhere. But I mean, the people who knew, which like that was you, it seems like. But like, I don't know. I love her.
I know. I want to keep gatekeeping, but I know she's what the people need. So
Yeah. I love the
I'll
humble
let y'all have
beginnings, you
her.
know?
Yeah,
It's always
I'll let
something you
y'all
can get
have
behind.
her. At least I got one tour that wasn't like take. I think I paid $100 for early entry, exclusive merch, sound check where she came out and like talked to us and performed a couple songs like acoustic. And I showed up there like 30 minutes before doors, maybe, if that, and there was like six people there.
Oh my
And I
God.
know next time she goes on tour, I could show up 2 hours before doors and there's going to be 200 people there.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like she's gonna be like Olivia Rodrigo, who like
Yeah.
every time she goes on tour, her shows just sell out.
Yeah,
And there are
she's
these
going
like
to be
massive
huge.
venues. I just want to say, I hope that Rainbow Kitten Surprise, I hope that they're okay. I
Yeah.
hope that they can, persist beyond this. And I do really wish them well, and I'll be rooting for them and following what's going on with them. It sucks that they're in this position.
Yeah,
All of them, even Charlie too.
sending love and light to Ela, and I hope she can pull through.
Yep.
But unfortunately, they're now at the point where if she does cancel for her mental health, which she might have to, they're going to lose a lot of fans. Because they'll be like, okay, well, this is what, now the fourth run of shows that you've canceled? Why would any of us buy tickets anymore?
Right, like how many
So,
times can you keep
yeah,
doing this?
it created a really weird paradox where, she might not be able to physically and mentally finish the tour, but she also can't cancel.
Yeah, I
So,
would if my date was at the end, I'd be worried.
yeah.
I wouldn't even buy tickets.
No, that's why I said I'm buying a few days before the show because
Hmm.
I'm not even convinced it'll sell out because I think too many people have bought too many tickets and been disappointed.
And I'll say too, that's kind of like a hack that I've been doing lately, even with bands I really want to see, is I'll just wait till the day of and try and get a ticket from someone because the fees are
Real.
insane anyways.
Yeah, why is the service fee $70? I don't
Right?
even get a physical ticket anymore.
I know. It's
Like
wild.
what service? What service am I paying $70 for?
Right. Exactly. It's like not even worth it. I'd rather just like buy it off of someone who's just like trying to get it off of them for like
Yeah,
30 bucks. You know what I'm saying? It's way
exactly.
easier.
I know. I'm like watching the Taylor Swift ticket prices like a hawk right now because her last show of the whole tour is going to be in Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, she's
which
still
is like,
touring.
oh wait, no, not Vancouver, Washington. Oh yeah, God, she's still touring. She's
Oh
gonna be
my
touring
God.
until the end of the year.
Oh my God.
But
You go, girl.
her last show is in Vancouver, BC, in Canada, and that's like a 3 hour drive for me, maybe. Like I could drive to Seattle and then take the ferry. And I know for the last tour she's gonna do something special, but I have not seen ticket prices drop below $1,000, including fees yet, even for nosebleeds.
That's scary.
But I've got a pocket set aside, so if I could find a ticket for under $600, fees included,
Hmm.
I'll go. But I
You might
can't
be able
just
to.
I just can't justify spending rent on a concert ticket.
Of course.
Yeah,
That's very fair and reasonable.
unless they're gonna let me live in that seat for about a month.
Yeah. Unless
Yeah.
I get to literally take the seat home with me, like, no.
Do you have any fun concerts on your lineup?
That is such a good question. I really want to start up the Underground series. It's been hard though, because shows, at least in Philly, and we talked about this last video, but shows in Philly right now are a little expensive, even for local people. And I love Philly music. Like, I love a lot of the bands here, but I'm having a hard time justifying 15, $20 for a
Yeah.
local show.
And I mean, we lived it, we saw it. I think the Philly music scene is just going through a really weird transitional period. We lost so many of our favorite venues
Hmm.
in less than a year's time for a million different reasons. And how many nights did we either just break even or we ended up having to pay out of our own pocket for that show because we didn't even make a profit?
Hmm. Yep.
So I think these bands are now learning they have to charge 15, $20. Otherwise, they might not even break even. But then on the flip side, that makes less people want to come.
Right. Exactly. I mean, the people who are going are going to be, hardcore fans of the band, because otherwise it's really hard to justify going for 15 bucks, every week, because
Yeah.
it's rough out here. And I mean, that's the case for the bands too, and I get that 100%. It's really hard to find that balance. And we've talked about this before, but if I could go back and do it again with our shows, I would have gone down to like $5 for admission. I think when you start getting past even like $10, just feels like a lot. But when you start getting past $10, it's really hard for people to want to commit to that.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because $10 is just to get in the door.
right?
While
Not
you're
including
there, you're
drinks
going
or
to want to get a
food.
couple drinks.
Hmm.
You might want to get food. You might want to buy some merch,
Hmm.
tip the bands. Like, that's all adding up. $10 just to get in the door is a starting point. And, like, at this point, it's cheaper to just go out for drinks with your friends than it is to go to a DIY show.
Hmm. Exactly.
Which,
It really sucks. So like I want to do the Underground series. And I will. I think this summer will be a good time for it too,
yeah.
because of course shows just started up again. But I'd really like to start that series, because I think it's important to highlight, the underground scene and the local scene here, especially in Philly. Other concerts I have coming up though, I am so serious. Like I don't have anything right now, partially because ticket prices are just too much.
Insane.
It's just wild. I mean, tickets for every band or artist that I want to see is at least $70, and that's not including the fees. So if I'm going like the day of, because I
Yeah.
saw a quick cheap ticket that someone was trying to get rid of a few hours before the show.
I mean, I used to go to shows at the Foundry, which is upstairs from the Fillmore. It is such a tiny little venue. I used to go to shows for there for $25. I saw a
Oh,
girl in
such a
red
good spot.
there.
Yes,
Front
that's such a
row,
good spot.
$25. I checked like randomly a few months ago just to see what they would be. Shows at the Foundry, which is a very small venue in terms of like touring
Yeah, it
artists.
is. Mm-hmm.
They're going for like 75, 100, 125. Like, absolutely not.
It's I can't. It sucks. Like I love concerts. it's just getting so hard, you know, in this economy to like continue paying these prices. And I don't blame the bands. I don't even really blame the venues because I mean, some venues, I know that the fees are higher to play there, but for the most part, they're just trying to stay afloat too.
I mean, I'm blaming Ticketmaster.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
100% Ticketmaster and all of these ticketing platforms because honestly, I wouldn't mind spending $70 on a ticket. My problem is when I'm actually spending $120 on a ticket.
Yeah. It's when you tell me the ticket's $70 and then you charge me the price of the ticket for a service fee
Yep.
when you're not even providing a service.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, get
it's
the fuck
it's
out of
it's
here.
it's wrong. It's totally wrong. And just with all the resellers, I mean, a lot of the shows that I want to see, I wanted to see Olivia Rodrigo. That sold out in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I couldn't even get I didn't even get a verified presale code. I don't know how
Yes.
like I have a theory that scalpers I prioritized because I'll sign up with my emails that have been on Ticketmaster since 2013 and I won't get a code. And then the burner email I created just to get a code, that'll get a code.
There's something shady happening there.
It's because they make
Absolutely.
if a scalper takes a $200 ticket and they sell it for $2,000, Ticketmaster gets a cut of the $200 and then the $2,000 as well.
Yeah, they make out way better than if they
Yeah.
sold the ticket regularly.
Yeah, so why would they stop scalpers?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it is what it
Allegedly.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will keep you updated on the concert stuff. One concert I am going to, though, that I'm really excited about is Sad Summer Fest this year. Sad Summer Fest is such a good one, and I'm so biased towards it. But this year, the headliners are The Maine, which is one of my favorite bands, and Mayday Parade, and The Wonder Years, and Knuckle Puck, and like some other,
Damn,
bands
that's
too.
stacked.
It's stacked. It is really stacked. For, you guys listening, I'm such like a pop punk girly. So for me, that's like totally my area. And so I'm just so looking forward to it. So that's one thing I have coming up, but like, I don't know. I want to go to some other things. I'm just not sure yet. I have to be like selective right now
Yeah,
because of
selective and
price.
spontaneous.
Yes,
It's got to be a show
exactly.
you find the night before to where, like you said, you could find people desperate to get rid of tickets. Or I've noticed like a lot of with these shows that sell out, like Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo, they'll randomly drop box office held tickets like a
Oh,
week
really?
before. hmm
Oh, see, that's a hack that I'm not familiar with.
You got to get on the update accounts.
Hmm.
They like I don't know how they do it, but every time like a new search entry that says Olivia Rodrigo pops up on Google, they're like just checked. 400 tickets just dropped for, Little Rock, Arkansas at 6 a.m. ET that wasn't announced by Ticketmaster, but somehow they found out that they dropped. So everybody go get them now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm hoping something like that happens for Olivia Rodrigo because she is coming here in August and I would like to see her,
Oh,
but
that's great. Yeah, let me know. Keep me updated.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
try and get tickets here too, so
I
I'll
can't
let you know.
justify spending $400 on a resale nosebleed ticket for Olivia Rodrigo.
No.
Although, and we're kind of going on, so this is the last thing I'll say. I changed my mind about Guts. I love it.
Okay,
I
say
love it.
more.
It was meant for live performance and I didn't see the vision until I started seeing clips of the tour and I was like, I get it now. I
I'm
get it.
really happy you came around with
Yeah, I
this.
came around. I get it now. It was just one of those albums that was made to be performed.
Mm. Yeah, I'm really, really glad that you ended up coming my way with this because last time when we talked about it, I was like a little personally offended. I don't know why, but I was just like,
Like, hey girl, I don't think this is
wow.
working out anymore. This might just be a solo venture.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh God, maybe I just have really bad taste. Like, I don't know.
No. Yeah, I think I just needed to see the vision live. And I saw it and I understand it and I get
Mm.
it now.
I know the clips look so like it looks like a blast.
She's so cool.
I know, she really is. All right, we're gonna make it a mission to go. Just like we made it a mission to go to the 1975 as well.
Period. And I saw them.
Yeah, exactly.
So. All right.
Mm.
Well, it was fantastic catching up with you,
You too,
and we will
Emma.
see you next week.
Bye, fangirls. See you next week.